We were just talking about Duke and I yesterday about, I asked him, what is a Christian?
Yeah.
And he said Christians are followers of Christ. So we're thinking we're doing all these great things. We're being nice to our neighbors. We're not cussing people out in traffic. But we don't have a real relationship with Christ.
No relationship. I knew Christ. I believed in Christ. I had no relationship with Christ.
Right.
Having the church guide, I bought it as a business. Mm-hmm. It was a horrible business. It did not do anything that I envisioned it would do. I mean, it just didn't happen. And probably because of that, I started spending a lot of time in prayer.
Right. So it pushed you to Christ.
I said, Lord, help me, please. I'm trying to provide for my family. And,
right.
And it just turned into a loving relationship with Jesus Christ.
Right. So let's talk about the church guide, because I think that reading it breaks different barriers.
Oh yeah.
You are a spring chicken. You are.
Okay.
And I'm looking here and seeing that you're relatable. You know, you
try to be.
You can relate, and I think that's awesome, because a lot of times our generation look at your generation with so much wisdom, and we think, oh, you wouldn't understand us. You don't have anything that would reach us. The church guide, everyone's in here. Mandisa's in here. Switchfoot's in here. I mean, Toby Mac is in here.
We try to cover everything. I mean, I may be older year-wise, but as far as being a newborn Christian, I mean, there's teenagers out there today that have probably had a longer faith walk in terms of a relationship than I have. I mean, I was first called into ministry, I guess, when I was 10 or 11 years old. But, you know, as you reach into teenagers and become a young 20-year, I mean, you kind of walk away from the church. All of us kind of do that. Well, most of us kind of do that, and I did that like a lot of other people. And it took me until I was in my 50s before I kind of realized God had a plan on my life all these years, and it stuck. He was kept to his promises. I mean, I worked for the Virginian Pilot newspaper for 20 years. I never knew I was going to own my own newspaper. Right. But he was preparing me for that for 20-some years. Yeah. Even put me into my own business for 10 years so I would know how to run a business and how to relate to people and talk to people. And he, you know, my parents weren't able to provide for a college education, so I was able to provide my own college education. Right. Actually, God provided. I didn't know He was providing it.
Right.
But He took care of all those things for years before I knew He was behind it all. So, so yeah, He's been there. He's been very faithful. I haven't been faithful, but God has.
Yeah, that's the story of our lives. What is the biggest thing that you're the most grateful for?
Well, the biggest thing that I'm most grateful for, you know, regarding the paper?
Just regarding life. A lot of times we look at what we have going on and we think that this is our thing. Well, you know, this is the church, got to have this, now I'm happy. But what if God... Are you tearing up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
It's emotional. But anyway, what am I would say that that it's brought me closer to Him.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. But anyway,
He's crying, you guys. He's crying. And it is an emotional thing, because you think about where you were and you say, I was 50 when I realized the plan that God had for me. This is touching to even my generation to see that you, at any time, God can show you His plan.
Well, He's a good God. Sometimes it takes 60 years, as in my case. Don't do that if you're younger than me. God's taking care of you. So it's now my ministry, and you know, I'm doing everything that He's calling me to do.
I'm crying. This is not what we expected. We came, first of all, we're in a beautiful home. I just want to let you guys know that. So God is blessing him here, obviously, but I didn't plan on coming here and crying or getting teared up.
Well, this entire home is all His blessing. It's all His favor. I guess I'm doing something right.
You are.
Finally.
Well, where can we find the church guide if someone wants to advertise, or how can you get your story in the church guide?
We're always looking for testimonies. Just, whatever God is doing to touch your heart, what He's doing to change your life. If you're looking for hope and God answers those prayers, we're looking for those testimonies. So, the best way to reach us is with an email. Just send something to churchguide@usa.com. I will get it. You don't see anybody else in this office. And we love to include that because a lot of people think we're the only ones going through something.
Right.
Boy, is that wrong. Right. Everyone is going through it in their own little way. And to know that what you are going through is what I am going through, and how you dealt with it, and how faithful you were. But more importantly, how faithful God is. Right. And that's what people need to know. They need to be able to know that their hopes and their prayers are going to be answered. Just God is no respecter of persons. He's going to do the same thing for anyone that puts their faith in Him. So, right. Yeah.
So tell us the website again.
Well, the website is thechurchguide.com. So what you see here in color on paper, the entire issue is also online at thechurchguide.com. We also have a lot of outreaches, people that are in need of hope, or they need of assistance or support. Maybe they can't pay their electric bill this month. Where can I turn to get my electrical bill taken care of? Maybe they're addicted to something. Where can I go to get my addictions, a support group? Well, we've got pages and pages and pages of Christian support groups, help and assistance. And some of the things cost, but it's kind of based upon what your income is. So nothing on there is very expensive. It's either free or next to nothing.
Right.
We also have churches. So if you're looking for churches, that's the main thing that we're doing with this newspaper. This newspaper is trying to reach 1 million people here in Hampton Roads that do not go to any church.
Right.
There's 1,350,000 people in all the Hampton Roads city. About 300,000 say they're going to church. Now, they may be going to church once a month or once on Easter.
Or the watch night services.
But 300,000 say they're going to church. That means 1 million are not. Right. So we're trying to reach those 1 million people. We're trying to get out into the streets, into the marketplace, the shopping centers, post offices, where people go that maybe someone from the church is not going to be there to witness to them, or to let them know that there's an answer to that little tug that's going on in their heart right now. Their life is messed up. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn to. So the newspaper is just sitting there waiting for them to pick up. It's not like Christian radio or Christian television, which are excellent. But to do that, you got to turn on the channel to that, which means that you're probably already a Christian.
Right.
You're not someone looking for Christ. Someone looking for Christ is not going to probably go to a Christian radio station. Right. But once we get them turned on to Christ, we can let them know where all those radio stations and TV programs are, and where the churches are. So right now we're trying to find those people that aren't doing anything. They have no relationship. They don't go to any churches. They may have had bad experiences in the past at church, and they think that all churches are like that. But just like in my case, God has not given up on them. He's still tugging at their heart, letting them know that there is something else out there.
Yes.
I'm waiting for you.
Yes.
So they can pick it up. You guys are gonna get some inspiration. They can get knowledge, whatever they're looking for.
You guys are going to see us actually door to door with this thing. This is a big deal, you guys. And as he said, it's everything from the current FM in here to support groups for addictions. God is really moving on this business, and you're going to see News Media One taking action, going door to door in the best neighborhoods to the worst neighborhoods to everywhere.
That's right.
To spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. We want to thank you
My pleasure.
so much for having us in your beautiful home and for speaking with us and for tearing up with me. And we just really, really appreciate it. We're going to have to come back and do like a view of your home because it's so beautiful. So hopefully you'll let us in.
Of course, anytime, you're always invited. So, this is kind of like becoming a little place for a lot of evangelists that are coming in town to have a place to stay. So it's becoming like a little haven for Christians that are on the go. So
haven for Christians that are on the go. It's not
only an office and a business and a home, but it's becoming a little stopover for people that need a place to stay that maybe can't afford a hotel. So.
Right. Well, thank you so much. You've heard it here first, you guys. News Media One, the church guy. This has been your News Media One Flip Clip. I'm Ashley. See you guys later.
Thanks, Ashley.